The $17 billion loan, which was approved by the IMF's board, is for a 2-year period, with $3 billion being made available right away. Earlier, IMF Managing Director Christine Lagarde explained that urgent action was needed.
The country was in a situation of very serious crisis. The currency was going downhill fast. The reserves were being exhausted quickly, and measures had to be taken right away.
The IMF had recently sent a team to begin working with the new Ukrainian authorities to restore the country's financial health. In exchange for the loan, Ukraine had to begin painful restructuring, like reducing energy subsidies.
As in most packages that the IMF comes up with, there will be substantial costs in terms of restraining wage growth, keeping balanced budgets at both the central and local governmental levels. Probably some sort of austerity program that'll be tough. It'll be politically unpopular, and that's going to be a very difficult thing for Ukraine going forward because of the incredible political challenges it has on all fronts already.
The IMF's decision restores a degree of international confidence in Ukraine and unlocks another $15 billion of promised loans from the European Union, the United States, and other lenders. But the IMF warned that if Ukraine loses control of the richer Russian-speaking east of the country, the new loan package may no longer be enough to stabilize the country's financial health.
Whether Russia actually formally moves into and annexes or comes close to annexing eastern Ukraine. And of course, I imagine that would throw the whole package in doubt or in question, because eastern Ukraine is a net contributor to the federal budget of Ukraine, whereas the rest of the country, almost every other region of the country, is a net debtor to the central budget. So if you withdraw the wealthiest parts of the economy from the equation, obviously the entire economic calculus is turned upside down.
Analysts say that even if Ukraine manages to quell the current crisis, in which local government buildings in a dozen towns in the east have been taken over by Russian nationalists, the country still has to find a long-term accommodation with the east.
There could be a real, true decentralization of the system in Ukraine, and many very intelligent observers of the situation are arguing that this is probably almost a requirement for Ukraine to solve its political and economic woes.
The West accuses Russia of stirring up the Russian nationalist movement in Ukraine and has imposed sanctions on Moscow in response. The large IMF loan is a lifeline that will keep Ukraine afloat for the time being, even if the painful cuts in public spending that it imposes will lose the government popular support. However, Ukraine will not be out of the woods until it forges a long-term political accommodation with the Russian-speaking eastern half of the country. Burton Bolag, KSA2, Washington.